Timing is impeccable. This is the entire room says, I need a bathroom break. So let me have you all stand up, please. Get a little energy here. It is a proven fact that movement of the spine pumps cerebral fluid into the brain. So when you twist like this, pump some cerebral fluid. I'm going to have you all lean the same way at the same time, so don't bump heads. Everybody going this way. Now going this way. Now going back. Oh, I know you can't touch your toes where you are. Okay, all right, have a seat. Nice. Yeah. All right. So this is called 3 Ways to Double Sales in just 12 months. We only have 20 minutes, so how about we just get started? The alternative title is 1,000 Mistakes I've Made in Order to Learn This. And let's get right into the first concept. This concept I call the best buyer strategy, or sometimes referred to it as the Dream 100 strategy. And the fact is, it's less years. And every month we can send a mailer out to these 2,200 advertisements. This month our magazine is focusing on cars. So if you have anything to do with cars, you should advertise in the magazine. This month the magazine is going to focus on computers. So if you have anything to do with computers, you should advertise with us. And they would go after some of the larger companies, but if they said no, they weren't interested, that was the end of that. We're going to see why in a minute. So I did an analysis and found that 95% of all the advertising in the top 4 magazines came from only 167 advertisers. So we started going after them with a vengeance. This is a quote I'll leave you all with. It's that there's no one you really can't get to if you're determined. No one, absolutely no one. I don't care if it's the President of the United States, I don't care if it's Bill Gates. There's nobody that you can't get to if you're committed and you're determined. So we started going after this 167 out of the 2,000, and we called them 4 times a month, and we mailed them twice a month. And the mailers were clever, like, don't be in the dark about your success and send a flashlight. Tired of your sales going up and down, and we'd send a yo-yo. Something that was clever, and then we followed the phone call. And we hit them, we pounded them, we pounded them, we pounded them. In 6 months, we got 29 of them in the magazine. That alone doubled the sales of the magazine. And by the way, for the first 4 months, we got nobody. So it was like pounding away, pounding away, pounding away. They're big companies, they don't move fast. In the 5th month, I got the largest advertiser in the history of the magazine. And it was good because after 4 months of no sales, we were kind of going, you sure this guy is doing the job? So let me ask you a question. If there's 167 dream clients and you got 29 of them just got new braces. I cannot talk. They're like 5 days old in my mouth there, and I cannot talk to them. But anyway, would you stop if you only got 29 of 167? Who would stop there? Right? So we kept going, and we went after these Dream 1 clients, and it actually doubled the business 3 years in a row. So so you have an idea what that looks like. 10 million to 20 million, 20 million to 40 million, 40 million to 80 million. And I get called into Charlie Munger's office. Everybody know who Charlie Munger is? He's on the Forbes billionaires list. He's Warren Buffett's co-chairman, not the vice chairman, he's co-chairman for 40 years. And he says to me, I do a perfect Charlie Munger impersonation because I worked for him for 4 years. He goes, now Chet, in all the companies I've run, and all the businesses that we've had, I've never seen anybody double business 3 years in a row. Are you sure we're not lying, cheating, or stealing? Conversation. And what we were doing is just marketing and selling better than anybody. It made a huge difference. So here's a question to you. First of all, how many people do sell B2B? B2B, business to business? Okay, huge percentage of the room. Do you have a special effort for the dream clients you would love to have? How many people have a special effort for those dream clients? 2, 3 of you. Okay? I mean, it just changes your life. It makes a huge difference, and fast. Like 6 months from now, imagine having 29 dream clients. What would that do to your life? As he says, his braces is catching my lips. Another thing you can do is that you can go after the same types of companies all at once. It really helps. Like in my client list, you'll see in banking, I've had Citibank, Bankers Trust, Wells Fargo. In the stock market, I've had Merrill Lynch, Solomon Brothers, Morgan Stanley, Charles Schwab, New York Stock Exchange. I helped a newspaper company. They had 154 newspapers in 3 countries. Put together a program for them, which I'll talk about a little bit later, but the essence of it is we're calling, offering to teach companies how to succeed. So instead of, if you own a hair salon, instead of me calling and saying, hi, I'd love to come and sell you, our advertising for your hair salon, we called and said, look, this week we're going to be teaching all the hair salons in San Francisco how to succeed. Would you be interested in learning what we're going to be teaching them? Now, if you're a hair salon, that's a pretty hard thing to turn down. So when you go after the dream clients, go after the same type of clients all at once, it's a huge difference in how you go. So you keep trying no matter what. 60 Fortune 500 clients that I personally had that I got myself by cold calling, the hardest one took 6 months. The hardest one, and that was Morgan Stanley. I called Phil Purcell, CEO and chairman, 26 weeks in a row, every week for 26 weeks. On the 27th week, I actually didn't call him, he called me. And I'm serious. His secretary, he turned to his secretary and said, that guy that calls us every single week? Call him up, I want to meet him. And that's how I got an appointment with Morgan Stanley. Got him as a client. 52% of all salespeople give up after a single rejection. When you get up to 5 rejections, 96% of all salespeople have gone away. I like to say, folded like a chair. Because it's inappropriate to say, fold like a schoolgirl. That's what we used to say. Just kidding. So we train our sales reps in advance that you have to go after at least 12 times. You have to face at least 12 rejections. And then we plan what they're going to do for every single rejection. And it makes a huge difference because if you just started working for me and I'm training you, okay, here's what you're going to do the first time you get rejected. And I teach you 12 different things. I give you the letter you're going to write, the phone call you're going to make, the reaction you're going to have, the role play, we rehearse it, you're trained, you're ready to go. It makes a huge difference. You mentioned that I just merged 12 of my companies with Tony Robbins' brand. And we have 300 and some people in there, and every division I can tell you everything that's going to be said, what they're going to say, how they're going to say it, how they're going to react. How many people have heard our radio spots? Tony Robbins and me, okay? Have any of you called in? I can tell you exactly what happened, exactly what they said when you tried to not do what we asked you to, what their comebacks were. Every single thing that happens because we've rehearsed it and role played it. So how many people in here have planned their sales process like that? Okay? It changed your life. And you know how much time it would take to do that? About an hour a week. Just 1 hour. It's all we spend. 1 hour a week. That's it. The title of the book was The Ultimate Sales Machine because the idea was to reflect machine-like precision in the sales process. Different types of companies use different concepts, and this is called the affiliate strategy, and it's another great growth strategy because you can get someone who's already reaching the clients that you want to reach, and if you can get them to market you to their constituency, you can grow like crazy really fast. So I decided I wanted to get Jay Abraham as a client, and as an affiliate partner, he goes after business owners. How many people heard Jay Abraham? Well, he's a celebrity, so they're much harder to get to than a CEO of a Fortune 500. Morgan Stanley, $200 million company, 6 months calling once a week. This guy, 2 years calling once a week. Finally, his business manager calls me up and says, Jay, we'd like to have lunch with you. I went down, had lunch with him. To this day, that lunch is worth $15 million. How many people, to me personally, that's my income on that deal, okay? How many people here took one phone call a week for 2 years would do it if you're going to make $15 million, okay? And I'm telling you right now, there probably are clients like that for you, or affiliates who just don't keep calling them. And so you go away. Tony Robbins took 17 years. 17 years. He brags about it in front of audiences all over the world. 17 years. And now that I see what his life is like, I understand. It's crazy. Like, he was just in Edinburgh with 4,000 people in the audience, and now he's in Rome with 6,000 people in the audience, and he's flying to Australia. He'll be in India for 1 day, then he'll fly home. There's a TV show coming out, by the way, end of July, which is the focus group says the best television show they've ever seen. So it should be really good. I promise it will be. For my book, we sent out 6 gifts to the top 3,000 executives in America. Like, one of them was a magnet, and it said, if you want to double your sales, you need to read the finding section. It was tiny little type, you had to use the magnifying glass to read it. And then another gift was, like I said, a yo-yo and things like that we could send. And then I got 100 famous speakers to give me training programs, and my deal to them was, look, you have a database. I'm going to expose your 11 million people to a training product, whatever training product you want to give me. And my only condition for exposing it to 11 million potential buyers is you have to send one email for me. And I got 100 guys to do that. That took a year, by the way. And then we put out, the promo piece was buy this $15 book and get $10,000 worth of free training. 11 emails went out on a Monday. My book was number 47,000 on Monday. By Wednesday, it was number 1, 2 days flat. Now what's great is that because of that push, 3 years later, it's still, every couple days I go and check, it's number 1, 2, or 3 sales book in the United States in Amazon for 3 years now. So that, hopefully that's the content, not just because I'm not promoting it like I was in those days. So who can grow faster using affiliates? How many people can use that strategy as a growth strategy? I would tell you, you all can, you just don't know it. Every single one of you here, get somebody else who's already reaching your client and get them to market you. You're going to grow a lot faster. You run a campaign, you orchestrate it in advance, like a concert where every note is planned in advance. Have you ever had someone come after you forever? Ever had somebody just keep calling you, calling you, calling you? I had a PR guy come after me for a year. Read my stuff, came after me for a year. I met with him. I was totally unimpressed. So I said, I'm not interested. He came after me for another year. And after that, I was like, okay, I got to hire this guy. He already works for me, and I haven't even paid him yet. So you start to feel a moral obligation if somebody comes after you really hard for a long time. And contrary to what weak salespeople believe, that you're bothering them, you actually gain people's respect when you will not go away, no matter how many times they tell you to. How many people B2C, business to consumer, I call it the best neighborhood strategy. So if you're real estate, chiropractor, dentist, some kind of professional, an attorney, a financial advisor, if you want to reach people who buy B2C, like as the fellow was speaking, the restaurant thing, we call that the best neighborhood strategy. Who are the wealthiest people, and then you go after them with abundance. There's a small number of them. So I got a restaurant to give away free dinner to all the wealthy people in their area. They just, mailed them to the mansions that were in the area, and it totally sold out the restaurant. Real estate professionals sent to 2,200 homes, the mansions in their area. She sent a promo piece every single month for 10 years. And finally, I'm getting this thing every single month. I call her up, I bring her over to the house. She comes, she's got a binder, shows me all the houses she sold in the neighborhood, every house. And some of them 2 and 3 times. So, do you want to be famous among the best neighborhood? And what